Oh, so now we're recording.
Now
Yes.
we're recording. Oh,
I've lost the
boy.
magic.
You've lost the magic. Yeah, I mean that's where the magic happens, really. If you talk to anybody that records podcasts, they say the magic happens before and after, and then what gets recorded is garbage.
The magic happens behind closed doors.
Yeah, magic happens when the microphone's covered up. Woo!
And that,
But
woo! And with that little
let me
ditty
tell you
of
something. When you take the microphone and get sexy with it, you come up with this show. We talk about toys,
yeah,
not sex
And
toys. We talk about sexy toys, like
and with that,
like this, like the Indian in the cupboard. There is nothing sexier than Little Bear. Wasn't it Little Bear?
Is that
What was
from
his name?
Toy
No,
Army?
Indian in the cupboard.
That was the really no, that wasn't the name of the movie, was it?
The Indian and in the cupboard.
based on a
The
children's
Indian
book.
in the cupboard.
Yeah. Wow.
It was a really cool promotional too. I mean, if you think about it, it was like the movie case when it came out, because the movie, obviously everybody, or you can just read the title of the book and movie, you know what it's about. But it's about a kid that had a cupboard, magical cupboard, put a toy in it, lock it, you unlock it, toy comes to life. When I was a kid, I thought that was the coolest thing.
Well, remember
And,
there was
they did the movie.
remember there was the very cool iconic moment where you put a bunch of different toys, and one of them was a Darth Vader figure.
Oh yeah, I remember
Heck
this.
yeah. And
I remember.
RoboCop.
And RoboCop,
Mhm.
and I think one like a dragon or something, because there's something up on the same level.
Jurassic Park T-Rex.
Or
There was a
T-Rex.
T-Rex, I think. And I think it was like a Jurassic Park style, you know, the design T-Rex, because it was right around the time of Jurassic Park. It was like right after, maybe like the year after or the same year. Anyway, I remember that being really cool that they did that. But what was really cool is this. I got this recently from my mom, where she had some knickknacks or whatever, and this is one of them I grabbed. It was when the movie came out, you got the movie case, and those are the big clamshell cases like the Disney movies. And this one was really cool because if you looked on the side of it, like you have the spine, but if you reversed it where you normally would open it, if you look, it had a keyhole where the case closed. And when you bought the movie, this came on the top of the case. This came with it in a little plastic key, and so the sleeve inside was reversible, so you could open up the VHS tape, take the sleeve out of the case, reverse it, and put it in. It looked like the cupboard. Obviously, it looked like a flat, clamshell VHS shaped cupboard. But it was a cupboard, and then the lock was on the side of it. So I just thought that was a pretty cool gimmick where you took the movie case and you just left the tape out of it, and then you could just lock and unlock it with your little plastic key, and then put your Indian in there. And I guess she must have kept on to this as a whatnot is what we call them.
Did you
over
ever
the years.
test it though? Did you ever test it? Did you ever put it in and then try to see if it came
plenty
to
of
life?
times. Plenty of times. And a cool story about this, and I'll tell you, I can get, which I'll be honest, from Eagle Eye, if you really get this and look at it and look at the movie and compare it, they're not even the same figure. He's slimmer and just not shaped. The other one's a little bit more of a thicker, rounder Indian and a little bit squatter. Like he's just kind of like in a more of a squat. But anyway, it was still cool, and I think you could mail in, probably spend $200,000 or something and get the rest of the figures from the movie. But the cool story was, I had a great aunt that had a cupboard, and the skeleton key that goes to it is identical to the key they use in that movie. It's like to the point where it was creepy, which I'm sure if you look at it, there's probably a million look like that. Down to the design of the key, it was like creepy, and it's at my mom's house now, like that cupboard with that key, and I'm like, that's creepy. So at some point, I'm just gonna keep that key and just include it with this dude or something. I don't know, but yeah. But I just thought that was really cool. But that made me think of something that I think, Ray, you had a cool story that kind of was similar to what I had the experience of.
What the childhood toys?
Yeah, man. You told me you had like a little connection back to your childhood.
Is this a smooth segue into?
It's not anymore.
No, well, okay. So my niece visited us over the weekend, and when my sister arrived with her in the car, she told me, your dad packed something in the car for you on the way. Like, you need to come help me get it out of the back. And as we went back there, she lovingly called it. He says it's your 401k.
Uh-oh.
And So yeah, so there's this big, like, back in the day before before I moved out and everything, we stored a bunch of old stuff in these old plastic bins, like stuff I really, or at least I didn't want to throw away, that didn't get caught in any of did any of you ever have purges where like the house just had to be like purged of stuff, and like you'd probably end up losing a lot of toys, having to throw them away just because you had too much stuff accumulated.
I lost a lot. My thing was I lost a lot of toys from when I was a child. Like, I mean, a lot of it was just because a lot of it was junked up. After a while, you play with it, and it got junked up, and then finally we just threw it out. But then you had some. There was some that like I had taken to my brother's house, and then when I had moved out, I had left it there for a while, and a lot of it was some Star Wars stuff I had, like ships, like the X-Wing. This was like the 95 Power of the Force figures and stuff. But like some of my cool ships got burned up. The house caught on fire and burned down. And I lost that stuff. And man, I was like, my X-Wing and A-Wing were the big hits. But yeah. But yeah, no, yeah.
So this is basically a lot of old stuff. I think I have a couple other bins actually, but this is the one they decided to pack in the car and send to me. So I'm going to start out not so much in the toy, but I'm going to give you what I would probably consider a holy text. Austin may know what I'm talking about because I think I sent you a picture of it already. This is Winning Tournament Karate by none other than Chuck Norris.
Oh my God, Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Father.
And you probably read that as a child and practiced in your room, didn't you?
I think I probably did at some point, but learning karate from a book is very odd and strange.
Oh, Danielson, he did that.
But back then that was the thing, is my dad was a huge like Chuck Norris, so I wouldn't be surprised if he had that book at some point. And I know we had like the Bruce Lee, the Tao of Jeet Kune Do somewhere, and this like Bruce Lee. It was like a shrine to Bruce. He was a lover of Bruce Lee, so it was like a whole bunch of Bruce Lee stuff for sure.
Well, the craziest thing about it is, or at least I think this is a picture of Chuck Norris, is it not? Like right there.
Oh yeah, that's definitely like from his that's from his prime, yeah, for sure. Like
that is like scary, because I mean that's Chuck Norris without facial hair. Like even inside when you see the demonstration pictures, he's got his mustache now. He's got his like long hair that he had like in the 80s. His long hair and his silent.
It looks like the silent. What was it called? Silent Killer or Silent Runner or something like that.
Oh wait, no, I've got it wrong. He's actually clean shaven in here too. His hair is just longer.
What's the copyright on that book?
Copyright on it is.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like what, 69 or 72 or something like
75. 1975.
That was
it cost $3.95.
That was probably him then, like really banking on his name, like on his name. He was probably at his height right before he was going into like mega stardom in movies, because he was already such a big name in like the karate world. I bet he was just that right there. Could probably, have you looked it up? I bet that could be worth some money. Maybe people are looking at it right now and saying that ain't worth nothing, but you never know. I mean, that stuff, especially that was like him on the cusp, and it looks like it's in really good condition.
Yeah, it's maybe.
No, I'm just saying. Hey, I admire stuff like that. I love it. I love especially old karate, because that was a boon back in the day.
Trivia then. Wasn't his breakout role? Wasn't it the It was a Bruce Lee movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Way of the Dragon. He was the villain.
Way of the Dragon.
Yeah. They had the famous fight in the Coliseum at the end.
Yeah. All right. So next up,
Ray. By the way, no facial hair in that either. Completely clean shaven. But let me tell you something. What wasn't here was all here, baby.
On his back.
There's even on the back. And on his back, on his chest. There's a scene.
I thought you were going to say it was always in his heart. Like the facial hair was in his heart, waiting to come out.
It's on the heart too, but no, there's even. I mean, look, Bruce even grabs a tuft of it, like just like grabs a handful of it at one point, like rips it out while he's fighting him. So I'm like, yeah, you can't help but do it.
So I'm going to build up a little bit. So this one's not a big thing or anything, but For some reason, like I had an obsession with getting one of these when I saw them at a gas station. I don't know if any of you remember these, but they actually made Chevron cars back in the day. Like
the Chevron cars. I always was jealous. I always kind of wanted one. I'd see them advertised when we'd get gas.
I can't remember how we got one. I think I want to say maybe one of the Chevrons in Swainsboro, like maybe happened to be selling some one time in the convenience store. But
I think I know which one. Yeah.
All right, so there's that.
I've never seen.
Wait, bring it back. I want to ask some questions here. What's all the features on it? Like I've always wondered, like what all do they do?
Well, he doesn't do too. Wait, if I remember correctly, let's see. Hang on. No, I want to say I thought his eyes did something, but I guess not. Explain
to the listeners what you're doing.
So, like, if you press down, so putting pressure when you're moving him, you'll make his eyes go up and down. See?
Oh yeah, look at that.
So he's got creepy. He's got the front doors, both front doors open up. And he's got a little trunk with some luggage in the back.
He got some junk in the trunk.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little one. I'm surprised at the great condition it's in. Like it's in seriously good condition. So I'm
for whatever reason, I'm actually just, I'm really like interested in them because I've always, that was always a toy I would see, and it was something I never jumped on because I wasn't ever a huge car fanatic, but for some reason, like when I saw cars that I liked, I just wanted them. And didn't they would change them out every once in a while. There would be a taxi cab or an ambulance and something like that. Yeah. And it would just be one of them toys where I guess I thought that it was too expensive to ask for and just was too, like there wasn't even no point. But yeah, I've always wondered how big they were, what they looked like. Like, I'd never seen them. They were just always the toy you could get there. I'm like,
here for a good comparison. So here it is, and then here is a can of Diet Coke.
Wow. Oh wow. Okay. So it's not too big. Yeah. Okay.
It's not very big.
I wonder how much they cost back then. I bet they were probably like $10.
Yeah, I'd say like 10 to 15. That would be my guess at least. So next up, I don't know if you were ever into this, Austin. Did you miss the yo-yo phase that happened in like the late 90s?
No, it was on. I didn't catch it, but I loved watching other people do it. I would casually do yo-yo, but I didn't do tricks. Like I could do a yo-yo, but I just didn't ever care to learn the tricks. But my cousin did. He loved doing it, and I had friends that would do it. It was cool watching people. I was like, there's something that would probably be something I couldn't master, so I just didn't even bother.
I got really into it back when I was doing it, to the point where we actually got like a cool little, I know exactly where it is. It's in good condition. It's still in the box, but I have I think it's considered a tournament style yo-yo. It's called the Bumblebee. It's a cool little black and yellow yo-yo, but that's back home. But what I do have is a cheater yo-yo. Do you remember these guns?
Oh yeah.
I remember.
Like backs on its own.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember those. That's more my speed. No, I always it was crazy though. I remember watching that craze when that exploded. I couldn't believe that boy. Like it's weird seeing the things that like the fads that blow up. Oh yeah, that was an interesting one for sure to see. But it was all cool. And obviously, my association with yo-yos was always like Ninja Turtles and like Mikey doing it on there and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. And we would make
use it as a weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Because oh my God, no weapons in this movie.
Oh God, don't remind me of that. Okay. Next up, because I'm trying to hold off on getting right to the action figures. So next we're going to get into electronics.
Oh, he spoiled it. There's action figures. I don't even want
to. There are some action figures. So this is kind of like maybe a little bit of a holy grail material, but they're not in perfect condition. But two original brick Game Boys.
Wow. Are they bricked though? Like, do they work?
I mean, they will, but you got to like sacrifice 4 batteries to do it, and probably pray to a couple different deities.
And that's pretty freaking awesome.
And I have one game cartridge that happened to be in the bin.
Tetris.
Tetris, yes.
Tetris. I knew it.
Everybody had it. I love Tetris. Man, do you remember these old school cartridges?
Oh
Like-
yeah, and the
like-
boxes
like
because
the box cartridge that it
Yeah.
comes in. I mean,
that was how I got introduced to him, was from Ashley's wife, because when she won her Game Boy, and then whoever got her the shell case or whatever had a set of those that came with it.
yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, and that blew my mind too. I'm like, they're so tiny, and you can put them in these tiny cases, and this is so
And you can put 'em
tiny.
in your
Awesome.
pocket.
Jelly.
I was kind of excited when I looked in there and I found both of them. I was like, oh, I forgot that I put both of them in here. So there's
This
that.
boy's balling. He had two of them when he was a kid. He was just like,
No,
he had like both of them, and he's just playing.
Well, one was mine and one was my sister's, and
Yeah.
she kind of got into her stuff later, and then she ended up just kind of abandoning hers. So I ended up taking both of them.
Score.
So in the electronics, I do have. I think this is a second gen, but I have a Tamagotchi.
Oh wow, what kind?
I think this is a second gen. I do have an original first generation, but I have no clue where it is. I'm not even sure if it will work anymore. I actually just took
Explain
the
that.
battery. The
What is
Tamagotchi,
that?
Virtual Pet. It was like these are the original Virtual Pets that started. Like
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's not working right now. There's 2 batteries. I actually just took them out the other day, so I'm gonna get some more because I needed to find out what kind I needed. Because I'm gonna try to start this one up and the other thing I'm gonna show you in a second. I want to see if I can get them running again. But it's like a little virtual.
Rex was coming.
Oh no!
I'm just joking.
No,
I'm not gonna spoil.
no! Don't you dare! Don't! No!
Don't.
You will see a rage come out of me.
So explain the Tamagotchi thing, because that was sort of like that was something that
was
I remember that, and yo-yos blew up, and yo-yos I could understand, the Tamagotchi had stuff I could understand, but it still blew my mind that either of those was such a fad. But I didn't catch the fever on any of those.
So
So
the
what was that?
Tamagotchi. So the Tamagotchi, Japanese, I believe. The name is Dame Malone. Sounds
Right.
But that was the start, I think, of the virtual pet craze, which is the early 2000s. I think around 99, 2000. And Tamagotchi is basically like a virtual pet, and there's like everything that goes into it. You have to pay attention to it. You have to feed it. You have to clean up after it if it poops. Like there's little it will poop on the screen.
Is it a specific dinosaur or anything like that, or what?
It's randomized, so you like depending on how you raised and stuff, it'll grow up in different ways. You'll get like there are random like starter forms, and then as it grows, it'll take on different forms. But I don't think it becomes like any specific looking animal. It's been a while since I've played with it, but they look very kind of vague and unique looking. So
could you like feed it too much and then it becomes a fatty or something?
You can feed it too much and it'll get sick, I think. I think it'll get sick if you don't clean up. If it happens to poop on the screen, if you don't clean it up in time, it'll get sick from that. It can die if you don't take care of it. If you just ignore it and don't give it attention, don't play with it, it can die.
The latest thing I remember, like this close to that, we heard was those eggs or something that the kids were buying. It was like these eggs, and they would hatchables.
Oh, the hatchables, yeah. So
hatchables.
Is that supposed to be like a virtual pet?
Sort of. I mean, it's not a virtual pet, but it's like a fake pet. There's a pet you take care of or whatever, but like you would hatch it, it would be some kind of cool looking, and they actually look really cool. It's sort of like it's kind of like the Tamagotchi idea mixed with a Furby with all that kind of stuff. But it was pretty cool.
My kids had
it. Yeah. That was pretty neat. I mean, what was your experience with them? You thought those were pretty? Were they useful? I guess as children's toys, or
Come on, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like for you as watching your kids play with them. Did they enjoy it? Did you get any enjoyment out of it, or was it even worth the money?
Not really. It hatched.
I just remember it being the craze at Christmas.
It hatched, and that was it. Yeah. I just
always heard about the girls like taking care of them like babies and having to do all kinds of stuff.
So most of the selling point was the anticipation of what it was going to be.
Exactly.
So it was more like Cabbage Patch Kids.
So it doesn't really have any sustainability once it was out.
Once it was out, it was I don't think they did anything with it, to be honest.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's like
so it was more like it was like more like Cabbage Patch Kids, because remember when that was a big thing, and then
Chucky ruined it. Thank you, Chucky. All right.
Speaking of Chucky, and then he pulls up Chucky. That would be so cool if you did that.
Yo, that was another one.
The only thing I would want was I remember a Chucky. It was like a Chucky doll thing with the suction cups that you put on your windshield or whatever. It was at like a movie store.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it Movies to Go, or did y'all have it at Video Warehouse as well?
It wasn't at Video Warehouse, but it was at Movies to Go back in the day. I remember it being there.
Because I avoided it like the plague. Like I see it, and I'd be like, "Give you a wide berth. Don't you come alive. Come after me, Chucky."
There were the zones. That's what I loved about that place. There were zones. It was like you had when I walked in, you had the smell. That was excellent. And then you had the back row, and that was the comfort zone, because that was all the gold was back there, because you can get Ghostbusters, Bill and Ted, whatever you wanted, Batman, boom, right when you walked in. Or if you made a left, you were going to go to Game Town, because it was literally like Game City. We had walls of games.
Well, I remember that to the left there was that whole area where there was there was the first little square, because they were like little, almost like niches almost, because the first section would be all the video games. So I think toward the end, before the next gen stuff came out, there was like all the one row on this side would be Super Nintendo games, and
it was like 3 walls. You basically when you were there, it was like three walls. So it was just like this wall was Super Nintendo, Sega, and then
PlayStation I think came in not long
after. Started to come in, and that was just I can't even afford that. Like I don't even have that system. I would just look at the Star Wars games and be like, like Rebel Assault 2, like on
the other side,
whatever that was that what it was called?
Yeah, there was a Rebel Assault 2. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like,
Anyway, next on the other side of that though was the horror section, which was that was the bravery test, to go back there, for me at least, to go back and look at the horror section. And then I think next over was
sports. It was like sports and
wrestling. Yeah, that's where we went to get the wrestling video.
It was the sport. It was like the sports and special interest. So the music stuff was there too. So you had the wrestling tapes, but then you had these music tapes, and that was where Cool as Ice was. And my brother would keep renting Cool as Ice from that section, and I loved it. Which is, by the way, coming out on Blu-ray soon. I got to grab that. But
I don't think there was one. I don't think there was another one, because I think that after that was the children's section.
Yep, kids section. It was a kids corner, and it was a nice little corner. And then right accompanying the kids corner is a cardboard stand-up of Billy Ray Cyrus. and then you had the cafe beyond that. And so that was your zone.
Cafe. Oh
yeah,
man.
I missed the cafe. I mean, just to cut it short, it was like you had the warm zone, you had the game zone, you had the horror zone, you had Billy Ray zone. It was crazy.
It was a cool little store.
And you knew Chucky was waiting for you at the front.
As convenient as streaming is, man, when you think back on a little mom and pop movie store like that, I miss it. Like I miss going out and think, Anyways, moving on.
Let's keep the nostalgia train going.
Yeah. I do have another virtual pet. Now this, I'm not sure if any of y'all remember this, but there was a Pikachu virtual pet that they made.
Oh, okay.
Pokemon.
It's actually shaped just like a Game Boy, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty. That's really cool. I like that.
And it works as a pedometer. See, it's got this clip on there, and it actually does part of how you'd gain. I forget exactly how it works. I think you'd get food or points or something like that. I forget how the point system works, but the pedometer would actually help you gain coins or money or something like that every so many steps. But not much to there. Okay, so let's move on to the action figures. I don't have too many holy grail type stuff, but I think I have some stuff that might make you jump, especially Austin. First off,
oh, that is cool.
Yes. The Tick.
Yeah, he's supposed to be able to jump.
Yeah, that looks like an
Bandai
OG.
I guess so. Yeah, Bandai.
Oh.
Huh?
Sorry.
Wait, but that looks like an OG figure.
I mean, yeah, it was from the show, from the original show.
Okay. Oh, so you were just guessing, Ashley. You were just guessing if it was
Yeah, I
It says
think I
Playmates.
remember Playmates may have made some Tick figures at one time. I could be wrong.
It says Bandai on the bottom.
Okay. Okay,
Sweet.
well, you just called me out on the show. Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, I was trying to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding you because
Yeah.
I assumed you were
Yeah.
saying that was what it was Playmates.
Playmates, Ashley? Really? Mm-hmm. Playmates? It's Bandai, moron.
Let's hear it. Listen, there's only one Alex Trebek, and you're not him, Ashley. Stop. You're never gonna be.
No, I don't think either of you were into this back in the day, but I was as a kid. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it, but it's kind of like a counter to Pokemon, which is called Digimon. You ever heard of that?
Digimon, mon.
Yeah, I have.
Like,
Yeah.
wasn't it like Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon, digital monsters? As I just remember hearing it come on, and I'm like, oh, turning it. Boop.
It had a pretty cool fantasy sci-fi storyline to it. The original
I
series.
need to.
That
sounded harsh. No, that sounded harsh. Let me apologize. That sounded bad. I was just saying, like, back in the day, I hated it. I already give it a chance, but back in the day, I was just like, nah, not giving it a chance. I actually love that too much. I'm like, no, you're making me feel bad.
But yeah, this is like a Transformer type toy. So like it has like.
Explain it to me. Explain what was it? You said it was like it's supposed to be like an alternate Pokemon sort of thing.
I mean, I would say it's kind of like a not. It doesn't work like Pokemon. Like it's not like you go out and catch these monsters or stuff like that. Like the original story for the original series was like this group of kids gets like sucked into like this digital world basically, and they get paired up with these group of little creatures that are called Digimon. Like each kid has one specific one that becomes kind of like his partner and his friend, kind of companion, and they go on this huge adventure trying to figure out how to get home eventually. And along the way, like their little Digimon companions are learning and growing, and they can digivolve, which are kind of basically like it does this kind of old anime type thing, where you get to like superpower yourself for a big fight. So they can temporarily like take on these superpowered forms, and then they kind of, after the fight's over, they can revert back to this smaller form. So it's kind of like that. It's like a big, huge adventure story. It actually has like a through plot line. It's not just like it. I ended up liking the storyline of this better than Pokemon. It interested me more because it had an actual story to it instead of just I want to be the best and I'm gonna fight everybody who comes my way. These are just kids interacting and trying to get home.
Yeah, I watched a few episodes. That was during my I'm trying to get into anime phase.
Yeah, it's a solid story. Like my wife, like she had the same sentiments. Like Digimon, like way better storyline in terms of watching a TV series. Way better storyline than Pokemon, in our opinion. At least for the first series. I didn't really catch on with the like they had multiple series of multiple different storylines. Like I think the second series was like a kind of a sequel to the original, and then after that it started to get really weird and meta. Like I think the third series was like the Digimon was actually like a card game the kids played, and then something happens and some of them started to actually come to life. It gets really trippy. I didn't. Now
Crazy.
Do any of y'all remember the children's books, Animorphs?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Do you remember that Nickelodeon was fortunate enough to give us a small little TV series that lasted one season?
Yep, I believe so.
That introduced us to two actors from there who still work today, Shawn Ashmore and Paolo Costanzo. And Paolo Costanzo is a character.
Was there a girl? I feel like there was a girl that came from that show too. That's like still pretty popular, but I can't think of her name.
Now,
if she was, I can't remember who she was, but
now is Animorphs, is that a part of Transformers?
No.
There was something like an Animorph or something, that was kind of.
You're
like
talking about the Transformers that were like animals. They turned into like the animals.
Not Beast Wars. Not Beast Wars.
No.
This was like like they were human-ish, and turned into. Oh, now I have to Google it. Go ahead.
No, Animorphs was they got like this gift from this alien who was dying, and the gift was they could basically absorb the essence of like creatures, not absorb the essence, but basically like take it into their DNA almost, and they can turn into a creature if they need to, an animal if they need to. But the caveat is, if you turn into if you like transform into something, like say you turn into like a dog or something, there's a 2-hour limit. You have to revert back to your human form. I think it's like 1 or 2 hours, but after that, you are stuck in that form permanently. You can't get out of it. So like if you get stuck, so if you never, transform out of a dog, you're stuck as a dog forever. Ew. And that actually happens to one of the characters. He stays as a hawk for too long, and it happens very early on. I think like the first or second book, and he basically is a hawk character that communicates with them throughout the story. I think something happens where he actually kind of gets like a gift from but it gives him the ability to transform into a human again temporarily, kind of like a reverse of the original rule. But anyways, the toy that that I have that's related to that was they made a Transformer series of their own like transforming toys, where this is the alien, the type of alien they would have called Andalites. Now these are the good guy aliens, but yeah, I think this guy transforms into a scorpion. But this is one of the characters from the books. Like his name's Axe. Yeah, and this is the one that Paulo Costanzo plays in the played in the Nickelodeon series. All right. So now let's get into the really cool stuff.
The books, I always remember the books having it was just like a straight line from like the person's face, and we go just like they were turning into the animal.
Oh yeah, and also in the corners you could there's a flip book
Oh
transformation.
yeah, you could flip. That was right. I forgot about that feature. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna start with the good stuff. Here we go. I found him. I thought he was gone.
Nice.
Football turtle.
Hey, Ashley. Hey, look, Ashley. It's Playmates.
He's even missing a tooth.
Is that Bandai?
Yeah, is that Bandai? Really?
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, on the back it's got the Leo.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Like I was surprised. I thought he had gotten lost in one of the purges, and then I was like, oh wait, no, he made it. Survived to my adulthood.
I think those football ones might be a little bit hard to come by too.
Yeah, but the problem with this one is I think he probably has some accessories that are gone. I think he probably had a helmet and probably had a football toy that came with him, because there's even a little little stud where he's supposed to be able to hold something. Yep. Probably, like I said, like a little football.
Yeah, he had the football. I remember there was a football helmet, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
But no, that's really cool that you have it. I would display that for sure.
All right, so now we're going to get in. Basically, most of the rest of the stuff has kind of fallen into the same category, but so got one Batman here.
Oh, nice. That was like was it like a Legends series or something like that?
Yeah. I think this was part of that Legends. Yeah.
Legends of the Dark Knight. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Because I think I can't remember if this is supposed to be Batman himself or if this is Azrael. Do you have a guess?
This is Batman.
I wouldn't.
I think it's a version of Batman, because that line kind of went off into Pirate Batman and all kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I had one of them. I had the Pirate Batman. That was the one I had, was the Pirate Batman. But what's funny is I think if you look at the body on that one, I think they reused that mold for like a bunch of Batman figures. I think including like the movie figures, like Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. They just use the same body molds and stuff.
Well, I don't know. That's a larger scale figure than the Batman Forever stuff.
Batman Forever and all those were pretty large. They were pretty large scale, yeah. Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. They were bigger. They were bigger than the first two Batman movie figures.
Yeah, but it seemed like the Legends of the Dark Knight series was like a bigger scale, like a 5-inch scale compared to like a. I don't know.
You could be right. I mean, you could be right, but the bodies are similar.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm gonna
Ray's like, which one of you are right?
No, it's like I think I have an answer, but
what is that?
Give an answer.
No. I also have this guy. I think this might be Azrael.
That is Azrael. Okay, so put the other guy beside him and let's see what the scale is. They're similar. Those are Legends of the Dark Knight series figures.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't think that they used those molds for the Batman Forever. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think they did.
Do you want to find out?
Yes, let's find out. Find out.
Where is he?
I could be wrong. I'm fixing to look stupid yet again.
Hang on. Oh, damn it. Oh, here he is.
I'm stupid.
All right. Unfortunately, apparently he seems to be missing his cape, but.
Huh.
Ooh.
Oh.
The Panther suit. I think the prototype suit from Batman Forever.
Yep, Val Kilmer Batman.
Mm-hmm. So, a little bit taller in scale.
I knew a little bit taller. You got it, yeah. But they are similar. Look how similar they are, though.
Yeah, they are.
It's almost just like duplicated, but bigger. It's so crazy.
It's just a bigger scale.
But listen, that's not a knock. Let me put that on the books, though. That's not a knock. I actually prefer those kind of figures, man. I love like any of that stuff. And like I said, I had the pirate one of that, and I've always wanted that Batman figure. That was the one that came in the 2-pack with Robin, right?
Robin,
yeah.
But the problem I had with this figure is I didn't like that he was stuck in this pose.
Yes.
That's the one drawback. Yeah.
But the problem is I'm not sure if they ever did, but did they ever make like a regular Batman Forever figure with the prototype suit? Because I don't think I ever found one as a kid. And
I had
this
one
was
that
my
was
only
closed.
option. Yeah.
There was one that was close, and it was the one he had this thing on his shoulder that you could pop down. Mm-hmm. And that was the only thing that was different. The rest of it was pretty similar to the suit. I mean, except for I think the shield too was smaller to accommodate. But yeah, that's the only one that's close. With Robin, well, see, I think in that pack, Robin
was a little bit more normal. Yeah, Robin was more
normal. He was close. Yeah. But the other Robins were normally not, and they were kind of weird looking. But they did do one figure of Robin that was he came with like not a motorcycle, but it was like a rolly car looking thing. It was a weird thing. You could throw it away. It was kind of stupid. But the Robin figure was perfect. It was the Batman Forever Robin suited figure. And I had it, lost it. And that's one of the biggest things is I wish I could find that again. I have a Robin figure, one I never owned before. It was from the Batman, it was around the Batman Returns era. And it was the Batman series figure that came out. It was basically like the expanded universe. It was just Robin. You remember, Ray, don't you, when they had like Batman? It was like you had Batman and Catwoman, but then when Penguin comes out and he doesn't look like the movie Penguin because of how scary looking the movie version was. So the figure just looked weird. And then a Robin figure came out, and you're like, but Robin wasn't even in the movie. And so you were just like, well, it's just that universe is Robin, I guess. But anyway, I never had him. Anyway, I've got him. But anyway, go ahead.
I wonder if he was made like based on. I wonder if he was created before the movie came out, like the prototype, because there were early scripts of Batman Returns that did have a Robin in it.
Probably, and Robin was even in the first Batman movie too. I think they wrote out.
I think it was a deleted scene though.
It was a deleted scene origin, right?
Yeah, I think so.
No, the Penguin from Batman Returns is just the Superpowers Penguin painted black and red and white and stuff.
Right? It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah. See, here's the my Batman.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. And then I've got Robin.
So they just went with a comic-based Robin.
Yeah, which is good. And look at this cape is probably one of the coolest capes. Like, I mean, it's a black cape, and then it's stitched with the yellow
Did
lining.
You pull that out of the pack? You pulled that off a card?
No. I bought it. It was bought loose. I bought this in Boston, in Salem, Massachusetts.
I think I had that. I think I had a figure just like that, or it might have been that same type. I don't know if I still have it though.
I bought him loose because I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of money on him in the pack anyway because I wanted one out to display. So I was like, I think he was like $9 or something like that. It was real cheap.
All right. So I think this is kind of like the last go round. I have other stuff, but it's mainly like Beanie Babies. So I don't think we're interested in looking at those unless you really want to see them. But
I mean, as long as
right.
if you've got like the what is it, the Lucille Ball exclusive, or if you've got like the Princess
I have
Di,
Princess Diana. I do have the Princess
you have the
Diana.
Princess
I
Diana.
do have the Princess Bear.
That's perfect.
All right,
Well, I
here
mean,
we
listen,
go.
I think we're in the final stretch of that, but we got like 10 minutes left, so let's go. Oh boy,
Ooh.
yes,
Batman
that
and
is
Robin.
is that Batman and Robin Batman?
It's the Clooney
That is
Batman.
nice. Ooh,
Yep.
yes, sir.
I have a Poison Ivy and one of Mr. Freeze's troopers coming in the mail right now.
Yeah, I
Mental
think
card.
I didn't get I never got an Ivy figure and I never got a Bane figure either, but I did get I'll just go ahead and show it. I did get Mr. Freeze.
See, I had the
nothing
movie.
I used to have that one.
I held out and found the one that looks like the
Yeah.
movie. They finally released that was
One
so
that looked
weird that
accurate.
they did that. That was so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of that, let me
But I gotta admit, it's got a cool sculpt to it, like how he's got like some translucent.
Oh yeah. I used to love that figure.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Like about it. But yeah, I wish I'd kind of gotten the original Arnold version, or the version that was modeled on like how he looked in the movie. Well, Austin just disappeared. Is he like trying to like break into a little cubby hole or something? Oh, okay, I see.
I was going to try to find. Oh no, I was going to try to find the. I have Bane somewhere. Maybe I put him somewhere. But yeah, I have the Batman and Robin Bane still in the pack somewhere.
And I also have, I don't think this is the right cape actually, but I do have.
Oh, I used to have that one too.
But I think this is
I had
the
that
wrong
one.
cape.
I love that one
because it's a solid black cape. I don't think it's the right cape because I think his
I don't know
cape
if
was
it
one that
can.
kind of snaps
I don't know
onto
the
it.
cape.
Yeah, his back snapped into it. It snapped
like
in
snapped
perfectly.
on. Yeah, it didn't go over his head. I think I'd probably just put it on here as a replacement. Like I probably lost it or something. So there's
That one actually, that cape. I wonder, do you think that could go with the Batman figure instead? Did you think you took that one off the Batman Forever or no? That one actually. No, I'm talking about the other one. That's the
no.
Batman
Now that
Forever.
no, I'm just saying like now that you're saying it, I wonder if this was actually supposed to be on the Batman Forever figure, and I wonder if this is supposed to be on the Batman figure. I'll check them after the episode ends, and then also I have Batgirl.
Hey girl. And see, I liked her figure too, even though she didn't. She looked like Alicia Silverstone did for like a second in the movie.
Yeah,
like
which
when
is
she was
like
driving the motorcycles.
And then she immediately pulled it off. Like I think immediately when they arrived, she ripped the ears off and then went back to just the visor costume. Here, since Ashley stepped away for a minute, I'm gonna see if I can.
Yeah, no, he's
Oh, he's back.
he's found the goodies too, man. Like there she is in the pack.
Oh
There she is,
wow,
mental card. Why have I got such a glare? Sorry. Yep.
that's awesome.
So you're
She's
keeping
on
them in the box. You're not going to open them.
No, she's on the review pile. That I've got this is when I do reviews for DC collectors, I usually try to get them still in the pack so I can open them. To show everybody. Here's the card. Here's what it looks like. Blah blah blah.
Nice.
But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it doesn't look Alicia Silverstone enough. So that's my review.
Yeah, well,
The Bane. What was funny was I actually liked the Bane figure almost better than the movie version because at least that one,
yeah,
like the comic book, it was like the comic book version, and I don't know. He just looked. I mean, he was just like he just really looked like he could slam somebody, just go to town on Batman.
Well, here's a question because I know they did a big action figure set for the Dark Knight, and I think they did some for Batman Begins. Did they make a Bane figure for the Dark Knight Returns or the Dark Knight Rises? I mean,
I think so. I'm pretty sure I
don't remember
saw
much
something
about
out
the
there.
storyline.
Probably something cheap. I remember seeing them like the like the big tall figures and stuff like that, the cheap looking ones. I think I did see a Bane figure here and there and stuff. They just very scarce. I think very scarce.
Yeah.
None of those Batman figures really sold too well.
It does go on him,
dude, you got it. That looks really good. I really dig you. I'm super jelly of you. I am super jelly.
That doesn't look right though. I don't think that one's right though.
I was going to mention before. I was going to ask about the bottom of it. That could be a Robin cape. Maybe that was the Robin that came with the Batman Forever, with the 2-pack. You're just missing the Robin figure. Maybe that went on him or something. So you never know.
Actually, like the bottom like has a. I was terrible with these toys. Look, this is supposed to be a curve up like a spike, but it's been either cut.
That's
or
right.
torn.
So that was Robin. That was the Robin cape because his had the point in the middle on the toys. Yeah.
I
you
just
want it a little bit.
And to answer your question, yes, there were several Banes
Okay.
in the 4-inch scale. Where'd Austin go?
Austin.
I'm here.
You
Got
got
your
one.
video.
Oh, no.
All I see is a big
Oh, I'm
A.
good. Oh no, I did it on purpose. It's intentional. Y'all keep talking.
Oh my gosh,
But,
he's gonna bring out some cool toy that he's hiding.
No, I do like actually, yeah, I do have if you want to see it. Here she is. I do have the Princess Di.
No, that was like a really expensive one too at one point, wasn't it?
I think so.
Is she really not?
I mean,
is she
it's-
really not worth that much
Well,
anymore? I thought that's still
It's not so much the worth; it's the demand for it. So the thing is, you got to find somebody who's willing to pay that much for it. I see people who are selling her on eBay for like either a couple hundred or a couple thousand, but I don't see anybody. I see watchers, but I don't see anybody really bidding or putting down offers. So I think it's just one of the situations where it's, there has to be an interest,
nice. Yeah, I get it. I mean, the thing is, what's funny is people swear up and down that they got something that's worth thousands and thousands, and then it's like, no. I mean, but it ebbs and flows. But no, I did figure out. I figured out where all my stuff is. But this is.
Oh wow!
Yes,
it was
I had that.
Yeah, it's still in that.
Wow. He
That
looks
is
a
cool.
lot like he looks. He really doesn't look like he's from the movie at all. He looks like he's from the animated series.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was a weird thing they
Well,
did.
he looks more like the comic to me, with maybe an animated series.
Yeah.
No, that's comic. That's comic accurate right there.
But yeah, that was a really weird thing they did with that line. At least with the initial launch of it was, how the villains all looked very comic-y or cartoonish. They didn't really look like they looked. It looks like the toy makers didn't use the. Well, I was gonna say, look on the back of it. Do you see like the villains? Like, do any of them look accurate to the movie on the back?
No, I mean Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy doesn't look all that. Mr. Freeze doesn't. You got Bane.
Yeah.
I mean, none of it did. I mean, even
That was a really weird thing that they did.
Robin was the most screen accurate. That figure right there that you have,
Mhm.
if you had the cape, that was the most screen accurate figure.
Yeah.
Because that was his suit. That was what he wore in the movie. So
That was it.
Well, I want to say this was well,
Clooney's suit was this one right here was close, but he didn't have his cape. They didn't give a cape. They gave like some weird.
yeah.
It was like an attachment on the back, and that was unfortunate.
Yeah, he's got I think that's why I had that cape on him. I think I liked that I liked that suit a little bit more because he was his molding was a little bit better. So I think I probably put Batman Forever's cape onto him as because he didn't have one. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's something we ought to talk about in a future episode, like toy mods, because I remember modding. I did a few minor mods, but I have to do that at some point. What else you got? You got any more goodies?
I mean, I showed Ashley. I mean, did you see it when I brought it out?
Princess Di. Yeah. That's we were just talking about that. That looks great. I think you ought to like take that or try to get on like Pawn Stars or something with it.
I think Austin might appreciate it. Check this out. I have a Shoney Bear.
What? Shoney Bear.
I have a Shoney Bear.
Oh man. I immediately want I want just like a big pan of bacon. Just a big pan of bacon from the breakfast
Tell
buffet.
me, like, I have missed Shoney's, like, well, you know what, to be honest, I don't think I've had Shoney's since, like, maybe we went out to, like, since the days where we would go out to Shoney's late at night. And
that's probably the last time I've been.
I miss some Shoney's, like, some of their breakfast buffets at night. Oh, man, that was the way to go.
For sure.
Let me see if I got anything
This episode
else.
brought to you by Shoney's.
Where there's only one left on the other side of Atlanta.
All right.
Oh, God.
We ate there a couple of years ago on the way to, I think we were going to Indianapolis. And on the other side, the north side of Atlanta, there was a Shoney's that we stopped at, and Tammy was like, "Oh, let's go to Shoney's. I hadn't eaten there forever." It was like, okay, it wasn't that good. It's not the same.
Well, I do
It's
have this,
sad.
but
It's sad
there's
seeing
not,
those places go down.
there's not much to it. I don't have the other part of it that would make it work correctly, but I have a fart machine.
What?
Yeah, it used to come with a clicker, I think, and you could like click it to make it fart. And yeah, you could like, and it even like has a little spot on the back where you can place some like little double-sided tape, and you could stick it up under like a chair or something and make it go.
gosh.
Good.
I never
Did you
took
get-
it to
did you get a
school
lot
though,
of
because
I said, did you get a lot of good pranks with it? Like, I'm sure you probably got your sister and your parents.
I was gonna say like not as many as I wanted to. You know, if I were a real troublemaker, which I wasn't, like I was scared of getting in trouble as a kid, so you know, I wouldn't take it to school because I didn't want to get in trouble. But if I was a kid, if I was a kid who didn't care about it, yeah, I probably would have done something like, you know, snuck it up under the teacher's chair or something like that while she was sitting, you know, and then when she's sitting at the desk, make it go off.
Right.
But then again, I think part of that fear also was like, I'd probably get it taken away and I'd never get it back. I was like, nope, okay, I don't want to lose it. So, and I have an old Jeep, old yellow style Jeep.
Just an old yellow Jeep.
Yep.
Old Yeller.
And
A Black Widow inside.
I have a.
Yeah.
Now tell me if you remember this. Tell me if you can place who this character is from. It's a movie from the late 90s.
Oh, that's the toy Small Soldiers.
Yep. I forgot his
small.
name. But yeah, the crazy one, yeah. Like
Yeah.
he's actually got pretty good range of motion. And I have a Chip Hazard in here somewhere. Hang on, because
Chip
I found
Hazard.
him when I. Yep, I do have a Chip Hazard if I can find him. Give me 1 second. Austin would appreciate this. Check it out. We've got a little diecast jet. I can't
Nice.
tell what type it is, but
That's a it's not an F-16, but it's close. I don't even know. Those were like a particular type of jet fighter kind of. I like them, but I was always my F-18s were my favorites.
It's a
Yes.
Starscream.
Starscream.
you failed me again.
Hmm.
No, hang on one. Where you at? Oh, there he is. Check this sucker out.
Now that's cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
All soldiers.
I mean, I can't believe I still have this.
You have the missile that goes with it.
Do you really
Man.
think I do? Oh man. Oh, crap. Forgot the big ones. Hang on.
I can't wait to see your show and tell, Ashley. I bet you're just gonna like just go into the archives and it's gonna be like, and then here's this.
Here's the piece from
Bust.
1939.
This
I mean,
is the original Iron Man helmet.
It's kind of
This goes
good.
on.
It's kind of good that I forgot about these because this is a good way to. These are good final ones to show. Okay, check this out.
Oh,
Oh,
so it
Cyclops.
is Cyclops.
Unfortunately, his eyes do not light up anymore. But yeah, originally, like there is a button on the back you could press, and his eye and his his little visor would glow red when you press it. It's really cool. But it looks like it's easy to replace. I can just open the screw
Yeah.
up and take it out. And then I don't know if either of you will appreciate this, but check this out. Do you remember this
No.
guy?
That is from Dark
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
I remember his
Disney's
name. I
Mighty
think it's
Ducks. I had that.
Wild Wing, I think.
I think Wild Wing. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I had that figure.
But yeah, I love this one.
It was
And-
it was a well done figure. Like Disney, the Toon Disney stuff, they came out with like Darkwing Duck had some good figures like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
and Mighty Ducks. They did a good job with those figures.
The only problem with this one is he did have some arm problems. His lower arm, it used to be able to twist, but it broke at some point. And you can actually see where I had to like super glue them back together.
Oh, okay.
The little like separation. And then the final one, I think I showed this to Austin the other day, kind of showed it as a tease, but
Power Ranger.
From
and
the
that's
movie.
the movie versions.
It's the
And this is
movie.
how they're. This is the only way they're the movie versions. Number one, he's got the ape on the chest, but
Metallic
the
red.
glaze. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the glaze. That was the only thing they did. They just dipped them, and they were like movie.
But yeah, but I love, this was the only way I was able to get the these types though, these
I had that one. Yeah, I had that one.
Hey, wait,
I had
Kenner?
I had the movie version of the. Yeah,
Is that
that's Trendsetters, Trendmasters or whatever it's called, Trendmasters. No, that's I had that Red Ranger, the movie version, and then I had the regular White Ranger, like just the regular White Ranger.
You mean the Silver Ranger because of how fucking silver.
Well, see, no, I didn't have the. I was going to say I had the regular White Ranger version.
Yeah.
Like, see, I think mine came with the Tiger Zord, but I had the movie version of the Red. I had that one of the Red Ranger. So yeah, I love them, but at the same time, I was just so heartbroken because as a kid, I was like, I love those movie suits so much. Yeah, I was like, please do those toys, and they didn't do it, and I was so sad.
But
Maybe that's why I walked away from the series.
because of your disappointment in the details.
Maybe
Like
so.
you-
Like I'm thinking about it now. I'm talking about it like I'm talking to a therapist, and it's like maybe that's what it was. Like, oh no, and it caused an exodus.
But yeah, I was surprised that this was in the box. I mean, I knew I'd kept them around. I didn't get, these figures like the White Ranger that I had. I think I had the movie White Ranger too, the one that was silver. Those are ones that I knew if I was doing any kind of purge, I did everything I could to make sure that they didn't get thrown away. So I'm sure that they're somewhere. I'm gonna probably, chance I get, go back home, I'll probably look around some more. But yeah, I got one. Not in the best shape. He's probably not sellable, but he get a little, nostalgia, childhood memory to keep.
It's a good whatnot to put up. It's a good display item.
Oh yeah,
I'd display it. That's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I
ought to do that. I think that could be a cool trend. I think we ought to do that because next episode I didn't even think about it, but I've got like we could do the boxes of lost toys. I've got lots of stuff we can go through and see what I've got. Do stuff like that.
Sounds cool.
I mean, I'm sure.
What's in the box?
What do you think? Yeah, what's in the box? Yeah, what's in the box? We'll do that. It's called What's in the Box.
Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
No, 7.
But
I mean, it makes
that
sense
note-
that Kevin Spacey would be a serial killer. I mean,
Yeah.
that way.
I'm sorry,
Anyways,
Kevin, don't hurt
sorry
me.
about that. Yeah, don't come after my family. But I think this was a great trip down memory lane, guys. I have a good feeling in my heart.
Me too. Me too. I think I'm gonna cry.
I think now that means we got to come back next episode. We got to come back stronger. We got to come back and keep up the feels. What do y'all think?
Yes, we do. We do.
All
Well,
right,
whose turn?
so-
Who wants to volunteer to go down memory lane next? Then
I don't know. It depends.
I'll go ahead. It's right there. We'll talk about it. If not, it's all in the can, ready to go. How about that?
Alrighty.
But anyway, until next week, guys, I think we're going to sign off. Have a good 2021. Get vaccinated. Put your mask on.
If you
that
can.
was a hot take, Austin. That was a hot take. Don't you talk about vaccinations? Scare people.